great big beautiful world out there. And here I sit, sucking on popsicles.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Imbasciani Chronicles. It's been a little while, but it's good to be back. And I'm here with a very good friend, someone I'm very happy to call a friend that I've gotten to know him in the last year and a half from going on his show out there in Dallas, Texas. Very funny comedian. He has a book out and a new show coming out soon. It's Mr. Dave Landau. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yes.
Had a good 7 hours of sleep according to my CPAP machine.
Oh, fun.
So, feeling good. Feeling refreshed.
That's good. You feel like a jet fighter,
Oh, I do. It's why I wear it when I pleasure myself. It's so I feel like a real boss.
Yes. And you get ready to go to sleep, you put it on, you sound like Darth Vader, and you're ready to go bomb Iran.
Yep. I played Danger Zone.
Yeah. As you should.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
It comes with the CPAP.
It's in cassette form?
Yes. Okay. It's so you don't feel so fat, old, and dying.
Okay.
It says that on the cassette.
Yeah.
But it's a cassette. You own it.
Yeah.
You can't get that taken away from you.
Is the B-side St. Elmo's Fire?
Yeah, it sucks. It's very overrated. It's not even good to sleep to, let alone watch.
I somewhat like, it's like a guilty pleasure song for me. But I've never seen the movie.
Oh, you've never seen the movie?
I've never seen the movie.
See, I put movies first, not that I don't love music, because I love music probably more than anything, but I love movies as well. So the first thing I saw before thinking about the song was St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah.
And it's very like,
Yeah.
It's like the adult Breakfast Club.
Okay.
Well,
and I saw the music video for that song, and you just see the actors are just very uncomfortable because obviously the guy singing the song is lip syncing the song, and they're in the burned building, and
Correct.
you just see the actors like doing that.
Yeah.
Type of look of why am I here? It was in my contract. I have to be here for this music video.
Yeah, they had to be part of the music video for the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't even remember that one. I got to go back and rewatch. I know I've seen it. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, that's a fantastic film fact.
Right there.
Right, just
St. Elmo's Fire. If you like Rob Lowe, and who doesn't?
I mean,
I do. I actually do like Rob Lowe.
And he loves baseball.
In a purely carnal way. He is a big baseball guy.
Yeah.
Well, so is Charlie Sheen.
True.
And Emilio Estevez. And who else did he grow up with? I read his book.
Okay.
And now with everything coming out with Charlie Sheen, you kind of know everybody's lives a little too much.
Really?
Yeah, but Rob Lowe from Dayton, Ohio.
Really?
Yeah, then he moved to L.A. and became a sweet little dream for all the young ladies.
That's true.
A teen beat.
Yeah.
A magazine I still subscribe to.
Yes.
I like the articles.
Yes. And I got my little John Bender, my guy over there.
That's
awesome. From the Breakfast Club.
See, I like the Breakfast Club.
It's a cult classic.
It is.
It's just a hit now, I would think.
Now it's a massive hit.
Yeah.
It was a cult classic, but now everyone's seen it.
Right.
And for the most part, people don't appreciate it as much as they should. Mm-hmm. But maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah. Would you say when you were growing up, movies were always a big part of your life?
Yeah, they were everything to me. I liked drawing and I liked movies. I from the day I could escape reality, I was good with it.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
The second I discovered movies, that was my entire future and everything that I wanted to do.
That's cool.
Going to the theater with my dad was a huge thing. Going to the theater with my friends was a huge thing. We had 6 or 7 different movie theaters by my house in Detroit.
Yeah.
They slowly closed.
Right.
Due to shootings.
Okay.
Every one of them.
Really?
Yeah, I think only the one called Beacon East just closed naturally, but the rest, it was all violence.
Okay.
Something about sitting through Ninja Turtles 2 for an hour and a half at the Eastland
people
Mall.
Just couldn't do it.
Yeah, somebody's like, I have to shoot all these turtles and save everyone. They're mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah, so gang violence ended that. But yeah, there were a lot of good things.
There were good memories in there.
They were in there. But yeah, it was, and mostly it was a quiet little place.
Right. Once until the bullets started flying.
Yeah, it got louder.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of movies there, and I remember I would keep a lot of the movie paraphernalia that they were going to throw out.
Yeah.
So I would have these like huge cutouts Like, I even had a huge cutout just because it was free of a movie called Scenes from a Mall with Woody Allen and Bette Midler.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
It was this massive cutout, and my dad came in my room and looked at it and just goes, no, and just threw it out.
Was it a cutout of Woody Allen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I didn't know. He may have known something I didn't know.
I was going to say, knowing what we know now, it's probably not good to have a life-size cutout of Woody Allen staring at you in your bedroom.
This was around the time he married his daughter.
Yeah.
So, but I would switch it out. Like, I had the Burbs cut out for a long time, which I wish I would have saved.
Yeah.
Also, now what we know. But, you know, I had a lot of... My brother had Pretty Woman, and I still make fun of him for it to this day.
Nice. But yeah, movies are a big part.
Sorry, that was a long answer.
It's okay. I get it, though. But I want to, I'm glad we finally got to sit down and do this. It's something I've been trying to do for a while. And in interviews that I've seen with you and just, talking about life, and you have this book, Party of One, a fuzzy memoir, which congratulations on writing that.
Thank you.
It's a fantastic book. When I came out and did Normal World for the first time, I said to you that your book reminds me, every chapter is a perfect little story as you go through your life. Obviously, you've mentioned, it was kind of traumatic a little bit to relive stories and write them down, but it's kind of cathartic, I'm sure, too. But as every chapter wraps up, it reminded me of the end of a South Park episode where it's like, today we learned.
Yes.
And then the next chapter would be, we didn't apply anything that we learned, but we learned it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's a nice thing where you let people into your life as growing up, and the loss you've experienced, some of the hard challenges you've gone through in your life, and people can learn things from your stories in that book. So I think you did a really great job in how you structured your book.
Well, thank you. That's what I did it as, was a series of stories as opposed to looking at it as chapters, or it was all different things. It was almost like writing out, one of the 12 steps is just sort of, you have to write out everything and admit it to another human being. And that's pretty much what I did. Was I wrote out a bunch of stories from my life, and then I ended up just sort of publishing it years later. But it is nice when people reach out and say, I read this, I connected with it.
Yeah.
You've helped me get sober, which is shocking. Just hearing stuff like that. It was, I don't want to say fun to do, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the writing process, and I'm going to do it again, because it only leads up to a certain point in my life, because it's about my youth.
Right.
So I think the next is going to be what happened after that. So you'll see how I didn't learn lessons in a whole new book.
Right.
It's a real thing I have.
Yeah.
Because in there I talk about, I don't even get to my 13 arrests. I get to some of them.
Yeah.
But it did take that many times for me to get arrested, and that's a mental illness, to just forget entirely of all this problem, all these issues that you had, and then just jump right back into doing the same thing over and over.
And as you're writing the story, you're like, oh yeah, like that one probably should have done it, but
any one of them really should have been a rock bottom for a sane person.
Yeah.
But I have a weird drug memory where it's easy for me. I can't forgive myself very well.
Right.
But it's easy for me to forget what I've done. Yeah. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah.
I carry the guilt. Yeah. But not the lesson.
Right.
So it kept happening.
Yeah.
But I always liked escapism.
And movies, TV.
And eventually drugs.
Right.
Which was like a movie. But super fun. I mean, awful. Don't do them.
Don't do drugs.
They're terrible. Horrible.
I tell the story every now and then of Carlos Santana playing at Woodstock, and they gave him LSD before his set, and they thought they had more time before their set to go up, and so you go, okay, fine, we'll take the LSD, and then they were told, oh yeah, you're up on stage, go ahead, as they're starting to trip, and so when you see him making all the guitar faces, it's him freaking out because he's high on LSD, and he thinks his guitar neck is a snake going back and forth, and he's trying to wrestle this snake that's his guitar.
While still playing unbelievably well.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's a story with him on stage with Lane Staley. And Lane I guess he just went off to a different planet on heroin, like when he started using.
It's insane.
And he's like drooling and all this stuff, and he stops and looks at Santana. He's like, I'm sorry. And Santana's like, no, you're in the zone, man. It's cool. Like, no big deal. Like, he completely got it from like that perspective. This was before it all went, spiraling into the worst drug addict. One of them.
Which unfortunately is like what keeps happening because these musicians and people in general, they think they needed to achieve those things, you know?
Yeah.
Which they don't, but in their mind, because they're an addict, they think they do.
Well, there's this sort of lie that drugs and art have to coincide and
Right.
coexist with each other, and it's not really true. I'm not saying that taking mushrooms or LSD or doing, I don't know where to look, sorry if that's
Oh,
on
no,
me.
you're fine.
Mushrooms, LSD
There's a lot
stuff,
of it in here to look
weed.
at.
I know there's a lot. That guy with the gun. So, like, you do certain things that it feels creative because you go to a music festival and you're on drugs. You're walking down Shakedown Street. You're buying, like, it goes. And honestly, I've seen a lot of concerts that they were a little better because of drugs, but it doesn't have to exist like that. And
Right.
and the problem is the real reason somebody who's an artist or doing it it's because they are trying to escape reality.
Yeah.
They can't take what they're dealing with, which is like some sort of fame. They have high anxiety, and it's treating your anxiety, which is a terrible thing to do because then it's just going to become a crutch for every time you perform.
Right.
And eventually it's going to take over and you're either going to quit or die.
Yeah.
And that's what I've seen happen over and over again.
And that's what Joe Walsh talked about, too, because he had immense stage fright and had to get high in order to, push that down in order to go out and perform, even though he's an incredible guitar player. But you just have that anxiety and you think you need something to help you get through that.
Well, and it used to be we can drink and booze is acceptable.
Right.
And you saw like the 80s hair bands and everybody's just drunk and it's not good.
Yeah.
So it's fine if you have a beer, a cup, whatever you want to relax, but it's people that are like hammered drunk on Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And then when that becomes something that isn't enough to satisfy you, or you realize it's affecting you, you might go to something else, you go to something else. So
It's a gateway drug.
that's what I'm saying. Well, they're all a gateway drug in a sense.
Yeah.
Life's a gateway drug.
Yeah.
I mean, there's parts of your life where you just go, I don't want to feel this.
Yeah.
But then you have to repress it down. For me, it was 16 years of very bad addiction. And then when that comes to the surface, you have to feel it all.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And then write it down because you have to talk about it.
You have a book.
Yeah.
But it sucks to feel, dude.
Oh, yeah.
As weird as that sounds, it really does suck to feel life, especially if you're afraid to.
Well, and I think, unfortunately, that's what a lot of kids are suffering through now, because there's no great war to go through that toughens you up.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. What day are we recording this?
Yeah. They just moved the draft age to 57. So who knows?
But there's, a lot of kids, unfortunately, are in this me, I, give me it right now. Also, it's shown to you right now on everybody's cell phone, everybody's life is better than yours type of mentality. And I think that has a very negative effect on kids too. And so they also look for an exit because feeling sucks.
Well, they do, and it's instant gratification. Right. I mean, that's what addiction is. What addicts want is right now.
Yeah.
They don't want long term. They don't want patience. They don't want eventually for things to work out. They want right now.
Yeah.
And we're building a society of people that want that right now. Mm-hmm. It's why you're seeing, car accidents go up when even though cars are safer. You have all these things. It's this instantaneous relief that human beings are not supposed to experience. And we're getting way too much of it hitting the dopamine in our brains.
Yes.
It's terrible. And I do feel bad for young people because they're not experiencing actual joy. They're getting their brains fried by instant gratification from a tablet.
Right.
Dude, I'm 43. I thought computers were a fad when I was like 18.
The internet, that's not going to last.
No, I mean, not a fad, but yeah, I did. I kind of be like, it's just for stealing music, right? Like, I didn't think it was.
Who's this Bill Gates guy? I'm sure he's wonderful.
Yeah, seems like a good guy.
Yeah,
this doesn't seem like a bunch of perverts.
He doesn't want to kill the entire population.
Yeah, this Steve Jobs guy doesn't seem like he would abandon his family and not care about anyone but himself
and wear the same turtleneck every day
because he's a genius. Yeah, and then he gets what's coming to him. But he ruined Earth and God ruined his pancreas. So all of that though I thought was I couldn't imagine wanting to be inside other than watching a movie or the length of a movie, or because I appreciated it.
Right.
But it was also once you had the freedom of a car or going out or connecting with people.
Yes.
And now if you lose that human connection, I think that's why we're seeing things go the way they are, because we're becoming inhuman.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And folks, stay till the end, and we have a fun comedian and musician in a car driving to this location.
It's going to be good.
Segment. So it's kind of a fun extra little bit here. So, because we're not able to record that long here. So stick to the end for that.
Well, that was dreary.
We're not going to make it that much longer. So watch the segment we taped earlier later. But talking about an outlet, and I think, and you're right, and I was going to ask you if you were going to have a sequel to this, because you're right, it goes right up until where you talk about getting your outlet of comedy.
Yes.
And I think that's important too, because as an addict and for people in general, people need an outlet that gives them that dopamine hit in a positive way.
You have to be an addict, I think, of something.
Yes.
I think you have to go towards your passion. I mean, I'm sitting in front of 38 guitars.
Yes.
But that's a positive thing.
Right.
So if you do have that drive and that passion, the reason why people are able to achieve what they can, other than a little bit of, I don't know, there's always a little bit of narcissism, psychopathy. There's a few reasons why some people succeed, but I think why a lot of artists succeed is they are extremely driven and addicted to
what they're doing.
Yes, and whatever that creative process is. And when that creative process gets boring or kind of trampled on or played with, that's when you can see people kind of fall back into negative addiction.
I agree.
But with this, I mean, I love comedy. Like, there's nothing that could keep me off of it. Mm-hmm. I love doing it. It's fun. It's a rush every time.
Right.
So it's something that's enjoyable to me. You're never 100% comfortable. And
you do have to work for it too.
You do, and you don't have to feel the world for an hour. Mm-hmm. You just have to make fun of it.
Exactly. And you can help those people in the audience, the same thing as a musician, help those people in the audience forget about their world for an hour.
And it's nice.
Yeah.
And I think we're all connected in some way, and in those moments inside of a club when you have the entire room, when they allow you to, which is, I think, less now than, pre-phone, unfortunately. But when you're in a room and everybody's listening and everybody in unison is enjoying something, it's really special.
Yes.
And you see that with music, and you see that with stand-up comedy. And that's why I always say go to live shows, because it's just an entirely different experience.
I mean, the Zoom acts during COVID weren't enjoyable?
Yeah. I remember I did one and said, this was the most awful thing I've ever done, and I never did it again.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Oh, yeah. I know. I was trying to figure out different locations. Like, I'd go to a park and, play 2 songs on Facebook Live,
Well, I've watched you play live, and you're amazing.
Thank you.
But part of that is you want to watch you do that.
Right, live.
Because it's so easy to look at a video, because videos make it look easy. Mm-hmm. I mean, you make it look easy, too, in general. But when I'm watching you having to hit all these notes, play different songs, mess around, it's crazy. Like, it's enjoyable to watch because it's something that's extraordinarily difficult that you make look like it isn't.
Right. Well, thank you, first of all. And then that's the give and take, right? Because then me looking at the audience and getting that response back is what helps me, too. And then it's just one nice symbiotic circle of give and take.
Yeah. No, it feels good.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's where I think human beings are connected. And that's why I think we have the fact that we are so electronically connected is ruining the human connections that we have.
Yes, definitely.
And I try to not look at my phone as much. I try to do just little things every day, because if I do all day, I have like a dopamine shortage. I have a migraine. Right. It's not good.
And just the artificial light garbage,
Yeah, just going at your face all day. Like it's just, there's a whole world out there we're missing every day, so we can. It's weird. I always think to and I'm probably gonna butcher it, but to the quote from Fight Club when Tyler Durden says, we buy stuff we don't need to impress people we don't like,
right?
Or stuff we can't afford to impress people that we don't like, and it's true.
It is. We
do all these things for others, and we rarely do something for ourselves because we've kind of been tricked in this idea that you don't want to be selfish. Mm-hmm. But then it is the most selfish, nonsensical thing to only take pictures and talk about you
all the time
and push yourself out there and be alone. And like, it's all very, very,
it's all selfish.
It's all selfish.
Yeah.
And when you put yourself out there and give it to the world, it's actually the opposite.
Right. And then you actually gain more by doing that.
Oh, by far. But yeah, it's a very strange time.
Definitely.
Well, and I don't know, it could get better. It won't, but it could.
Has to get worse before it gets better.
That's what they always say.
More people have to get it, and they don't get it yet.
No, they don't get it. Well, people are stupid. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are really stupid.
That's true.
I wish I could be nicer about it, but it
is true.
I can't anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's enough. Mm-hmm. It's enough of it.
Do better.
Yeah, just do better.
So, because we do have to wrap up shortly here. First of all, how you got your start at Second City, right?
Yes.
How was that for you at that time in your life?
Incredible.
Yeah. What's one of your favorite memories from that?
I was 19 and I was in my first class, and it was the first day, and you didn't really know what to do, and you're doing improv, so you're called up to do a scene, and the guy who had taught had been in some movies and everything, and I'm doing this scene, and the whole time he pauses the scene, and I'm just standing there like this, like holding a drink for pretend.
Right.
And he's like, see how he's doing that? That's just naturally what you're supposed to do. And I was like, oh. But he pulled me aside and told me, he's like, from day one, that he saw something in me. That's cool. That kept me going, because until that moment, other than my parents, there weren't a lot of adults in my life that thought that I had any potential whatsoever. I'd been told by adults to stay away from their kids. Not in that way. Right. But that's
what you tell Bill Gates.
Yes, you say, Naya, they're not in the, well, I'll turn this plane around, old man. But I had been told, I'd had parents come home and be like, you're a troublemaker, get out, stuff like that. Yeah. All right, that's cool, thanks.
I read what you did to that house.
Yeah, well, they weren't wrong. We did destroy it. You know what's sad is that didn't only happen once.
So from this timeline and from that beginning to where this book ends, what's a story that you really wanted to put in there? That's the short one that you had to cut last minute. Was there anything?
There was a couple. One was because I don't know what the statute of limitations were on. I guess you might want to call it assault. Not anything, it's not like that, but it was a physical
altercation.
We'll call it a revenge.
A furtive gesture.
Yes, we'll say ski masks. And no, I'm kidding. But it was definitely something where I wasn't sure. Right. And then the other one was just because I've done it so much and people expected at my shows, my brother and I getting arrested when he was throwing White Castles at a prostitute that ended up being an undercover cop.
Right, which is a great story.
Yeah, and I've already told it so many times that I did leave it out of the book. It really didn't have that much more detail in real life other than the entire Detroit court bursting out into laughter because it was like a Def Jam concert. Yeah. But that was one of them that I left out. Yeah, two. So one was statute of limitations, and one was just repetitiveness. Right.
Which I will say, because I've seen your set a few times. Obviously, the online stuff, the original werewolf story, all fantastic bits and stories.
Thank you.
But it was fun reading the story, and then you get more details, and you're like, oh, there's that joke. There's where that came from. Yes. So I think that's cool that this is the unedited version. This is the actual full-on true story. Yes. That you then can make fun of yourself and do in your routine.
Yeah, there's parts of it where you just can't do on a comedy stage. Right. It's very dark. It's very unsettling. And to even get the audience to go along with you, they have to trust you enough to go, okay, we're going to go to my youth. I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to end up in a mental hospital. This is what's going to happen before I end up in a rehab. And the reason why...
And let's laugh.
Yeah. And I guess the other one I left out of there was the story of the rehab after that. But it wasn't as interesting as what happened in the mental hospital. Right. So I think I summed it up very quickly in the book or something where I just said I went to rehab, and the second I got out, my friends picked me up. and passed me a joint.
Right.
And then when I went
the
to
enablers.
but when I went to get a beer, they were like, "What are you doing, bro?"
Yeah, come on.
They were like, "You're an alcoholic. You can't be drinking." I'm like, "You're right. I should only smoke weed." They're like, "Yeah, dude, you can't be drinking, bro."
Gotta be smart about it, man.
Yeah. And so I was high that day.
Yeah.
And it sucked because I remember being 16 or 17 and I really wanted to stop. And the second I got into a car, that like people pleasing peer pressure
It's right back
thing, I couldn't fight it.
And that's one of those crossroads moments that maybe in a perfect world you could have been able to stop there, and what would your life have been from that point?
Mm-hmm.
But we all go through things for a reason, and I gave you for Christmas Eric Clapton's autobiography.
Yes, you did.
And I don't know if you've read it yet or not.
Part of it.
I see the similarities in it. That's why I wanted to share that with you from having read that book and your book. It's like people in their life, and whether they're famous or not, and go through these trials and tribulations. And sometimes we see super successful people like Eric Clapton. You go, okay, yeah, people go through their trials and tribulations, but you don't know how far that valley can go down that they then crawl themselves out of, and see how truly meaningful then that success means to them and how they help other people. And so that's what I got out of his book. That's what I get out of your book. And that's what I think a lot of people can get out of your book, is see your personal journey and see that you are truly successful because of yourself as well, for pulling yourself out of that, acknowledging it, and moving forward and getting a positive result.
Thank you. Seriously, it's true, because people just see the end result.
Right.
And especially if you're somebody like Eric Clapton, they're looking at massive success, or they're making like a dead baby joke. Right. But they're mocking you on that because they feel you're so successful.
Yeah. What did you have to go through?
Right.
Yeah.
So and it's not that I've never made one about Eric Clapton. I want to be clear.
Yes.
But it's not. But it's also because I don't think it's funny at all.
Right.
That's the only reason why you can joke about it. But
Exactly.
that's different. It's
Right.
because it's so tragic.
Yes.
But that's my comedy. That's how I do it with myself.
Right.
Is make jokes that are horrific. But with that, though, you don't ever see what goes into it. You don't see the struggle. You don't see the pain. You don't realize what goes on. You just kind of see the end game. And I think what's sad now is people want to destroy the end game so quickly before they even want to appreciate the art.
Yes.
And we're now living in a time where it's more popular to be a critic or somebody who just hates people for a living than it really is to be somebody that actually creates art. And I think that sucks, because that's going to keep a lot of people from being creative.
I agree.
It gives them a fear, and they don't want to put stuff out. And it is hard.
I don't want that judgment.
No, and it's hard. I mean, there's, 50 years ago, not even 50, 30 years ago, you had a bad haircut. What, your friends made fun of it.
Yeah.
Now you get it and you post it online. You can get roasted by everyone on earth.
Yes.
And
absolutely the worst haircut I've ever seen in my life.
Well, and like and that's just, it's just, some of it is warranted. Mm-hmm. But it's like,
but then what do you as the person have to know to just toss it aside because it's nonsense and just move on with your life?
Like there's a clip of a all black punk band. I really like the band Death from Detroit, the all black metal band though. But there's a documentary called a band called Death that I recommend. But I watched like another group doing it and online, and I laughed at a lot of the comments. But you just get everybody naming bands like
right.
Where it's just like like Smashing Watermelons, whatever it is, and it's just But if you see that and your first response to your band that's punk is millions of racist comments coming at you, are you really going to continue that? And I mean, as funny as it is, a lot of them were, but I see that now where somebody does actually put out their art and they're just disemboweled. And that to me is a sign of a sick society, because it's so easy. It's so fucking easy to go after somebody and try to destroy them than it is to create.
Yes. Well, and speaking of creating, good segue, you have a new creation, a new show coming to the Blaze. Stu and Dave Do America.
Yep.
So it's coming out soon. Obviously, today, as we're recording this, it's March 27th. What's the release date that you're looking for?
April 6th.
April 6th. Fun.
Yep. It's going to be first show. We're going to have a talk.
going to be fun.
It's pretty good. I think you can tell by how I answered that.
Yes.
Pretty good.
That's
but
pretty good.
I'm excited about it. I can't even say what it'll be, but I like the studio.
I love the desk. I told you I love the desk.
I always thought we should have a desk, even on my old show. I mentioned it many times.
Yes.
Now it's nice to have one, but there was 3.5 years there where
no desk.
Yeah, there were 3. I don't know how long. 2.5 years maybe. Yeah. I've been in Texas for 5 years.
Okay.
God, I'm sorry.
It's a lot of traffic.
It's tiring.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited about the new one, though. Check it out. You can use Stu and Dave 45 promo on blaze.com if you would like to subscribe. You don't have to be a member. You can just watch it on YouTube and some other places. Okay. But we are putting stuff behind the paywall just for the actual Stu and Dave fans. Fun. Or as I like to call it, Dave and Stu do America.
Yes.
Just phonetically, it sounds
Dave
better.
Dave and Stu do America. Stu do America. Yeah. It works.
Yeah, we should we're going to go out there and do America.
Yeah. Which, that's what we were kind of talking about when you were called in with Lovejoy the other day is, because you're on the road so much, you can film some little extra things here and there wherever you are in the country, and that goes into the show, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think, America's awesome. It's a great place. I've seen so much stuff in all the years I've traveled.
Yes.
I've been on the road for 22 years. God, it's so depressing.
But you love every day of it, right?
Yeah. Yes. I'm playing the same club I was playing 20 years ago.
Love it. And you're killing, man.
No, it was fun. Yeah, it's crazy how, I'm lucky to be able to do this, though.
Yeah.
Me too. I have gratitude.
With music and all this, yeah.
Yeah, I really, if you don't have gratitude...
Because we're the first things to go. The entertainment stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they
line us up first.
They've already stolen movies.
Oh, yeah.
But all the AI music sucks. I mean, you can't take the soul out of art. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And people get pissed if you use AI for posters and stuff, but I don't really use it. I use Photoshop.
Yeah.
And then people are like, it's AI. I'm like, no, I'm still trying to not do it that way.
Right. Which I love all your ads. They're hilarious.
I'm lucky. I work with a friend who helps me out. I can't pretend that's all me because it's not.
You give him a little idea and he runs with it.
Yeah, or she.
Ooh, the they thems.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, it just depends on the day.
Yeah. So here's us driving in a car. All right, so here we are in the car. And one thing I've noticed in some of your bits and in your book is a lot of cruising around.
Yes.
And I love the fact of the olden days, which really could now just be 30 years ago, or not even that long ago. In the 90s, you talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
You could just cruise around and have fun, and you don't see that much anymore.
Well, that was the freedom of having a car, especially in Detroit, but you wanted to be 16 so you could have a car. It was basically a party on wheels, which I don't know if that's a good thing to treat it like that, but it was a lot of good times. I mean, when you look at a movie like, American Graffiti.
Right,
or
everybody's just cruising around.
Yeah.
The cars had style.
Dazed and Confused, there's certain sports cars, there's a look to it. Mm-hmm. And like everything that the kid wants is there. 'Cause that was how I grew up, was I wanted the car.
Right.
And I loved, we had so many good times. There were times where we just chose to drive around instead of go to a party or go to somewhere. It was just freedom.
So what was your first car?
My first car was a 1991 Jeep Cherokee.
Okay.
It had running boards.
Oh, yeah, it had the running boards. And you talk about driving. Was it driving your dad's car?
My dad had a lot of cars. When I first got my first car was my aunt's, and it was only a 6-year-old Jeep, which to me was ancient.
Yeah.
But I now realize how spoiled I was. That's a pretty damn nice car.
Yeah.
They didn't make the Grand Cherokee yet, so that was the nicest one you could get. My dad had a 98 Buick Regal, but before that he had the Pontiac Transport, the Cadillac of minivans.
Nice.
But I ended up with, I've had a Taurus Show, a Mustang 5.0 Fox Body, a Mustang GT Cobra. I've had Cadillac Eldorados. I've had, I've driven every kind of car that I've ever wanted to have.
How'd you like your Fox Body? Because I've been into Mustangs lately, and that's something I'm thinking about. But I know the Fox Body is kind of sought after by some and poo-pooed by others. As far as the body style, the engine, like what year was your Fox body?
Mine was an 88.
Okay.
And it had a look of Keynes in the movie Menace to Society.
Okay.
Which is why I liked the Fox body to begin with. Because
Right.
you had the Fox body, you could throw Daytons on it.
Yeah.
It was pretty baller.
Nice.
So I always saw it as like an awesome pimp ride, and I loved the square body. A lot of people hate it.
Right.
I love it with the ground effects. Now, the car is not great in the sense of you will be nickeled and dimed to death.
Yeah.
Like, you'll just be driving and you'll hear something and you're like, all right, I got to get a new screw for the ashtray or whatever.
Right.
It's just things that existed then.
Uh-huh.
It's a fun car. It's not crazy fast compared to now. But
it still had the 5.0 in it?
It still had a 5.0 engine.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it was still fast, don't get me wrong, when you got it going.
And you got enough trouble in it, right?
I had that when I was older, fortunately.
Okay.
But I did have the 95 Cobra when I was younger, and yeah, those are fast.
Yeah. My dad had a 98 Cobra that was the triple black.
That's what we had.
Yeah, 5-speed.
Yep.
Yep. And my Corvette's an 88, and that's an automatic. But that same style, like you said, something breaks. It's got all these little plastic bits that now, all these years later, are starting to break, and good luck ever finding it.
Exactly. And I love the years because they are fixable engine-wise. You can find an old mechanic. But yeah, you can't find parts for half these things. Like, I think a Fox body is cool to own, but they also went from when I bought mine, I think I bought it for $5,000, and now that same car would probably sell for $20,000 10 years later.
Right.
Because I didn't hang on to it past the whatever really establishing classic line. But I love that car. I mean, I love it. Some people would look at it and say it's junk, and because they're Chevy people, and I like Chevys too. But I dig that car.
I was just looking at a car auction recently, and there was, I think it was a 70 Mach 1, but it was completely redone, and it had a modern interior and a brand new Coyote 5.0 engine in it, and it sold for $120,000.
Holy crap.
I know.
That's that's a sweet ride though.
Plus it has the style of the old school with the modern engine technology, which that's what I think you're seeing now, unfortunately, as we look at this traffic. Every car looks the same. You have, like, that Kia over there is that asphalt gray.
Yes.
They love making every car now because you have to just be an invisible NPC.
Yes.
It serves no purpose to society.
Well, it's the same as there's a Tesla in front of it that's identical to the car behind it.
Right.
Then behind it, there's that red Chevy thing that
Yeah.
I wouldn't drive with a gun to my head.
With the Hyundai behind that.
That looks identical to the Kia.
Right.
There's no character. Nothing looks different anymore in any of these cars. The only thing that looks vaguely unique that I'm looking at from here is a couple of the Wranglers.
Yes.
Which are fun to drive. But you look around and they've just rounded out everything and turned them into these shapeless, pointless things that are just to get from point A to B, and I hate it.
Right. Well, and that goes back to what we started this conversation with, is you used to be able to get in your car that you liked. Maybe it was a bit of a beater if you were young and it was your first car, but you took pride in it, and you were able to just cruise around with your friends and have a good time, probably get in trouble. But your car had style, and it was part of your personality.
Yes, it did. It matched your personality. And yeah, a lot of douchey people would sometimes drive the perfect douchey car.
Right.
We had a kid who went by the name Red Baron. No one called him that, but he called himself that.
Of course.
And he had a teal IROC.
Okay.
Which, for anybody watching, that's Italian retard out cruising. And it was the perfect car to match the perfect douche.
Right.
But you drove the car that was you back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why every hippie girl who wore hemp and was high all the time drove a Topaz.
Right.
That just was part of the deal.
Just part of the personality.
It was a very average car for a very average stoned person who didn't care about much.
Uh-huh. What?
They were also bedrooms in many ways. They were first dates. They were, that's just the truth. Like, you would pick up
They were first home runs.
Yes, you would want to, you take care of it. I would clean it. Like, my car was never dirty. I always,
Take pride in something.
Yes, and that's something that really meant it, you know?
Yeah.
Because you knew people were going to be in it. And now, yeah, kids don't care. And I'm not saying they should. They haven't been raised to care, but you see a lot of kids who don't even want their license at 16, and then when they turn 18, they're like, oh, look what I got. It's a lease on a Hyundai.
Right.
And you're like, wow, dude, that sucks.
Well, and cars aren't meant to last now either, and the manufacturers don't want them to last. Like this car, I just hit 500 miles on it, and so I got an oil change because it's brand new from the factory. So get an oil change done, just to get the fluids through it. And the dealership said, well, you have one free oil change, and it comes at 10,000 miles. It's like, you want the first oil change at 10,000 miles? It's insane.
They're telling you to do that so you wear down the engine.
Right, so that you have to buy another one instead of making this last as long as possible.
Which it used to be, and that's why I love seeing older cars. It's why even when I was older, I bought a Cadillac Eldorado. Mm-hmm. My wife hated it.
You were so close to get my Coupe de Ville, I know.
I know, I wanted your Coupe de Ville. It was a great car.
Yeah.
Well, I was driving around in Eldorado as my only daily driver. That and that crappy Lincoln I have in...
That's right, in Texas.
Which the Lincoln was great when I bought it, but thanks to other Texas drivers, it's not.
Right.
It's been hit with truck tires, chickens, chicken coop, ladders, just everything imaginable has smashed into that car, so now I no longer care.
Right. Well, I've hit a bear with a van.
You RFK?
Yeah. No cocaine on the toilet, though.
Oh, well, that's the best place to do it when there's a counter available. Right. Just do it off a toilet.
What was that, Butters in South Park? He goes, I thought you sat on the toilet this way so you have room for your chocolate milk and your comic book. Backwards on the toilet. Come on. So you have a shelf. But otherwise, no other car accident. But it's
you
like... You
just hit a bear?
I just hit a bear, yeah. So I skipped directly over deer and just went right for a bear.
No one hits bears. You skipped right over every possibility. What kind of... Was it a grizzly?
It was a Florida black bear. 350-pound Florida black bear.
Okay. Is that what you're calling a race, or was it actually a bear?
No, it was a legit bear. I'll show you a picture later, yeah.
What, did you kill it?
Yeah, dead as a doornail, man.
Oh yeah,
and so was the van that was the van that I hit it with.
Oh, I bet. Well, the thing had to be the size of a van.
I thought it was a boar at first crossing the street.
Okay.
But no, it was a bear.
So it was a little bear?
It was Little Bear, yeah.
You just killed Little Bear.
I know, and they canceled the TV show.
Oh, man.
But I've never been as scared at driving as I was when I was going to Dallas in the backseat of these Ubers.
Oh, it's terrible.
85 miles an hour in the Dallas airport. They're driving.
And they're screaming a language that you've never heard before into an earpiece.
Yeah.
And you just feel like you're a part of their plan.
Yeah.
It's very terrifying. And they don't care. They just take the whole phone call. They're texting. They're not, like, it is an absolute nightmare to get into any car there.
Yes.
And the way they all drive there, too. People are just going 110 on the freeway.
And you have to, just to keep up with people.
You do, yeah. You have to speed like crazy. And the brakes on that car that I have, they're not the best. I don't want to go that fast.
No.
I know I could get another car, but it's just going to get hit with a bunch of stuff.
So what's the point?
Yeah. Well, every 10 feet there's an accident because everybody drives nuts, so there's just chunks of bumper and skid marks on everything.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
My favorite when you're driving around here, because Florida's so flat, is if you see an intersection that doesn't look like there's much around it, you will just see the circle patterns from people doing the donuts at 2 o'clock in the morning every now and then.
I have them outside of my place in Dallas, which is really appreciated.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there's a nice little area for people to do that. I never understood donuts, though, if you're not on snow. Like, it's fun on snow. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're just wearing your tires down.
That's what I don't understand. These cheap kids that have no money to begin with are doing donuts and ruining their tires that they then can't afford to replace.
Right, it makes no sense to me.
Right.
Do it on snow recklessly.
Yes.
I used to do it on snow all the time and just see where the car would go. And it's not a good idea, but if you make sure there's no other cars around.
Right.
there's a lot of worst case scenarios, but most likely you'll drift and hit a curb and stop.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes you'll get too much momentum and then the car will tip over. But I was lucky enough not to have that happen.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I found happens when I've been doing research into Mustangs, which there's another one. When you're looking at cars, they pop up everywhere.
Yep. And a Lexus.
And a Lexus, yeah. Is that they call these the Mustang drivers. And so my algorithm on Instagram is full of these videos of these one-car accidents of these guys just spinning out. And I'm like, well, it's not the car, which it kind of is because these people take the traction control off.
Yes.
But it's also the idiot themselves just thinking they're Mario Andretti and just trying to do something stupid.
Well, and they don't realize that when you get a sports car that has a certain amount of, you know, torque and speed, if you're on a racetrack, you understand how that can work and be functional.
Yeah.
If you're just driving around, like, you're being a dick. Like,
Yeah.
there's ways to have fun in a car. I mean, that's why you would buy a sports car anyway. You're going to mess around at some point.
Right.
But the people who do it don't seem to actually, well, the people who get in accidents don't seem to respect the car. But I mean, there used to be a thing called Ashland Hill or Ashland Bump in Detroit.
Okay.
And it's like a lot of folklore around it. I have no idea what's real or not. But one is that they, you know, a car back in the 60s went over it and they got like wheels up, but then it spun out because they used to drag race and like the guy was decapitated and all this other. So who knows what's real or what's fake?
Right.
And over the years it's gotten smaller, like they fixed it so kids stopped trying to drive over
Trying
it.
to jump it, yeah.
But yeah, I had my dad's Regal and I had to have probably gone 85 over it. So I don't know if I got all four wheels up, but it felt like it by the way it came down.
Yeah.
And that was a terrible idea.
That's fun.
But that was my fault, not the Buick Regal.
Right, and also the cars were built better back then, so it probably could take it a little bit.
It could, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it kept driving. I'm not sure I
Right.
could do that on a lot of cars now.
No. Because everything's plastic, too.
Yeah, there's no metal anymore.
Right.
Everything's designed to be destroyed if you get in an accident. I hit a deer. It was the first time I hit an animal on my way up to Houghton, Michigan. Now, I thought it was Houghton Lake, Michigan. That was 3 hours from Detroit. But Derek didn't correct me on that when he booked me, and then I realized it was 11 hours north of Detroit.
Oh, was that the one in UP?
In the UP.
Yeah. Which should just be part of Wisconsin, really.
Yeah, it is Wisconsin,
Yeah.
but yeah, for some reason it's Michigan. But it's the farthest northern city,
Wow.
I guess, in America, technically. I don't know, but it's the tippity top of the UP. And I hit a deer in the middle of nowhere. There's like 20 feet of snow. I think it snows there in June, you know?
Of course, right, yeah, because it's pretty much Canada and Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I hit a deer and it ran off because I was only going about 25.
Yeah.
But it still left a fur trail all along the side of my car.
Right.
That was a Jeep Cherokee, but dude, that thing was in the shop for like a month after that. For them even trying to find parts and
Oh, yeah.
and it's relatively new car.
Wow.
But yeah, I would never hit an animal like that before, I don't think.
Yeah, my dad has hit a few deer because we used to live in New York. And,
Oh, sure.
And so a ton
The
of
city?
them. Yeah. Yeah.
You call Jews deer? You know, we used to hit a lot of deer in the Diamond District.
Yeah. No, luckily this was upstate.
Okay, that's good.
Where the deer actually roam. Yeah, New York State.
You know, just be specific.
Yes. Yeah, nowadays you have to.
You don't hit
know?
bears unless you're in the city near Central Park
Yeah.
or for some reason by your house in Florida.
Right. And these deer, one of them that he hit with his car, he goes super slow because waiting for it to pass in front of the car, the deer stops and then runs into his car.
Yeah,
You know?
they're the stupidest animal.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people take pride in hunting them at this point.
Right.
I've never hunted for deer, but I have, well, not killed, but I did, I'm sure it's dead, but I did wound a pretty big animal
Yeah.
by just not, like, I was paying attention. It just jumped into my car.
Oh, wow.
When I was doing, it was the same as your dad had. Like,
Yeah.
the deer could see me and
Yeah.
saw lights
so
and
you
heard
stop
noise.
and you wait.
Yeah, and the deer, I couldn't brake because I was on the snow.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, same as your dad, I smash into that deer, and dude, it's just, it's the dumbest animal. It just stood there and was like, oh, there's light and sound, I'll jump at it.
Right.
Like, you hunt those, huh?
You feel good about it. You put them on the wall.
I did that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what happened? Oh, we shined a flashlight and made an engine roar. But no, good for them.
Yes.
I don't know.
Ted Nugent's very into it.
Ted Nugent loves it.
Yeah. He has a big ranch in Michigan, right?
He did.
Yeah.
There was some black mold in it. I interviewed him once. That's how I know. So I ended up moving out of the state. Plus, he hated the politics.
Well, yeah. I know. I think he's in Naples.
Okay, yeah. And I don't blame him. I mean, a lot of the stuff was registering your weapons. And
right.
He said, like, well, I already have, it's called the Constitution. And I can't say I disagree.
Right.
But I think he had a lot of weapons. Because I saw him live one time. And it was something.
In the heyday? What year did you see him?
I don't know if it was the heyday. That would probably be the 70s. But this was probably 2001.
Okay.
And he was performing at Pine Knob, which is like a big famous amphitheater there. And he rode out on a live buffalo. And this was after
that's right.
a good hour of footage of him killing animals with like a crossbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, killing buffaloes and deer and elk and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just
because,
hard rock, rock and roll.
Yes.
And then he rides out on a buffalo. It jumps off, he's wearing all leather and just starts wailing on his guitar.
Cool.
And I'm like, well, I don't think the show gets better, right? So then we left after a couple songs.
It's like, you can't top that.
Because I do love, actually, a lot of his songs, like Journey to the Center of Your Mind. And I mean, he was with the Amboy Dukes in Detroit. And I think when I met him, it was cool to interview him. He's not a dick.
No, he seems like a cool guy because he's got those rock and roll stories too.
Yeah, so it's just so bizarre to watch, though, because it's nothing I would ever do. And it's probably good to know how to hunt for the apocalypse we have coming.
That's true. I remember when he was on Joe Rogan, it was one of the first episodes of Rogan I watched, and I was like, 3.5 hours, really? And he pretty much said when he had his ranch in Michigan, because he controlled the environment so much by killing the deer or killing any rabbits or whatever and keeping everything in check, a fern came back from extinction and some other butterfly or caterpillar bug came back from extinction in his biome that he was controlling.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so, I mean, they do understand that nature has this course. You do have to kill a certain amount of animals in Michigan because it does just the population goes crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, the freeway would just be filled with car accidents if somebody didn't step in and control it.
Hence why I killed a bear.
Yes. That's why there's no bears on this freeway.
Yeah, exactly. See how nice this ride was?
You killed the queen of all bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice bearless ride.
Yeah.
You guys got gators,
You're
though.
welcome. That's true.
And I can tell there's gators in these parts, and I don't care for that.
Definitely.
I think they are an awful dinosaur and should be put into extinction.
Well,
Don't tell them I said it,
no.
but I don't like them.
We know what you do to alligators, too.
I do.
We saw that Methland, Florida video.
Well, yes. There's also the crocodile story because I knew a drug dealer that kept an alligator in his garage, which is not uncommon.
No, I mean, if it's your service animal, it's your emotional support alligator.
It kind of is. If you're selling cocaine, you want to have the emotional support of knowing you have an alligator. Some people want to have lions. Some people might want a puma.
Yeah.
Some people might want a gazelle.
Why not? A peacock would be fun.
A peacock would be fun.
Go to St. Augustine. They're all over the place.
I've seen a few peacocks in my day. I don't want to brag, but
Hey.
I've been around.
And with that, I think that wraps up the car segment.
Oh, well, I wore a lot of pants in the early 2000s, so you could say I was peacocking. Very, very dazzled.
And we're back.
Okay.
You like that
How did
edit?
we do
I'm going to
that?
do that edit. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
You like that?
I like it.
Cool.
We were just in a car.
Yeah, I know. It's fun.
Instant gratification.
Yes. But Dave, thank you. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Thank you for having me.
And very excited to check out the new show. I had the honor of being on Normal World for 10 episodes. So if you ever need me out in Texas, I'll be there.
Of course.
And we'll have some more fun. But folks, thank you for watching this. Go check out Stu and Dave and Stu, Do America on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube.
Yep.
Check that out. Also on the Blaze, and use the promo code
Stu and Dave 45. That's almost 50% off your subscription.
Yes. And what's the website?
theblaze.com.
Perfect. And
Blaze.com is probably weed or something, which I'm sure you can use the promo code there too. Probably don't pay attention.
theblaze.com. Use that promo code and save, and you can see all the shows there. Subscribe to this channel, a bunch of music stuff on here, and I also have a playlist of all the episodes that I was on of Normal World, so you can go back and check those out and listen to Methland, Florida. That was a fun time.
It was a fun little video.
Yeah, it was a great time. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share with your friends, and Dave, I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Thank you. See you, everybody.
I'm seeing you right now.
I know.